always examine the source line at the bottom. When you examine that source line, you are looking for key terms, dates, countries or states, and you are also identifying what is the time period. So in this case, it says, source, Count Camilo di Cavour, 1810 to 1861, Prime Minister of Piedmont, Sardinia, 1852. Now I know, we haven't seen anything about this individual since 6th grade. So go ahead and take the next 30 to 60 seconds. I want you to go ahead and research. Who is Count Camilo di Cavour and what was going on throughout Europe in the 1800s? So again, we're looking for who is Count Camilo, what was going on in the 1800s? Just under 20 seconds. You'll see what. About Austria and Serbia and the nationalist what happens to them. Okay. So, what did you find on Camilo di Cavour? Axel?
He unified, he brought the unification of Italy by revolutionary movement.
Okay, I love that. So I'm just going to write H. Camilo unified Italy using, and you said, actual nationalistic movements?
Revolutionary.
Revolutionary. Love that. I know. So already we know that Camilo represents Italy. He unified Italy. And we also know that he was responsible for leading a revolutionary movement that resulted in this unification. Now, what was going on in the 1800s that inspired Camilo to do this? Betty? Go. So we saw, again, like Kelly mentioned, there were multiple wars going on in Italy during this time. They were all trying to gain independence, just like we saw in Israel, like we saw in Africa, in places like Ghana, Kenya, and South Africa. Now, what ideas do you think inspired the people of Italy to want independence? Shiloh? Oh, so let's pause there. I like that you brought that up because we're making a connection across time. But look at the year is 1871. When does India or Africa or all of these places become independent? After what significant event? We'll come back to you, Shiloh JJ. Ah, there you go. After the Cold War. So that can't work in this case. Now, what do we know was going on that already was also on your midterm, that was going on there in the 1800s that changed all of the ways that things were produced? Priya? Okay, so we saw the Age of Enlightenment. What else? Priya? And we also saw the Industrial Revolution. So this source is from the Age of Revolutions, which was a time when many people, societies, became inspired to fight for independence. Now, what influenced these people to kind of like fight for that freedom and actually?
The focus of a newly created thing of natural rights for the enlightenment that boosted people because they want their natural rights to be free.
Shout out to you, next. Now that we understand the historical context of this source, before we read the top of this source, I need to figure out what is going on in these two maps, and then how is the information in this source going to help me understand the context of this map. You were going to say what it was? Now, on the left side, we see Italy in 1829. But then in 1871, we see Rome becomes the capital of Italy. First of all, why do you think both of these maps show different capitals for Italy? Miriam? Let's break that down even further. What do you notice about Italy in this one? Charlize, I just called her in the last class. Right on. So we see a bunch of different states. For example, this kingdom of two Sicilies. The people of that kingdom of two Sicilies. What would you call them? So like for instance, we're called Americans wherever we go. So we're represented by the United States. But what about these people in the kingdom of the two Sicilies? Axel? The what? Okay, the Sicilies, or the two Sicilies, or the Sicilians, etc. Now, in this map, we see one kingdom of Italy. What do we call the people of this kingdom? Nora? Italians. Now, breaking this down even further. Over here, Shai already mentioned, we're seeing a bunch of different states. How did Italy get broken up or divided this much in 1829? Go ahead and turn and talk to your partners and discuss that question. We're divided. What happened? All right, Gonzalo, go ahead and bring it back over, Axel. So let's think about it. What happened before 1829 that led to the division of Italy that we're seeing here? So this is exactly what I saw when you guys were having conversations. You didn't exactly know where to start. I'm going to challenge you. Like I challenged Miriam, only using what you learned in 5th grade. Only using what you learned in 5th grade. What continent is this? That's the first question. Miriam. This is Europe. The second question, what are papal states? What are papal states? Doing your own research, once you discover what that is, turn and talk to your partners and try to determine what happened before 1829 that led to this division. That seems like Kelly already got it. Okay. You're getting there. Remember, they lose influence during the age of enlightenment. There you go, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Christine, what are papal states? We'll come back to you. I think you just need to develop that confidence, Shiloh. There you go, okay. So that means, who does the Pope belong to? Germany. The church. So that means that the government of the Papal States, where Rome is, was controlled by the Roman Catholic Church. Now, who controlled Europe before the Roman Catholic Church? Augustus Caesar. Think about those individuals. Jacob.
Was it the Roman Empire?
The Roman Empire. And then we see that after the Roman Empire falls, all of Europe is split and divided into East and West, or the Western Roman empires. Now, what significant country, Equilibria, do you see north of Rome that contributes to the spark of World War I? Say that. Not only France, the spark of World War I. Back to you, Taylor. Austria, Hungary. This is exactly what I love that a lot of you are like, oh, okay, now this is making sense. This is exactly the level of thinking that we expect you to do, but you can't do that if you're not following the plan of attack. So in this case, for instance, we know that the Austrian Empire is becoming to grow and become even stronger. Just 90 years later from this, we see the scramble for Africa, and then we see Germany become powerful. So now, understanding that is pivotal to understanding the purpose of this source. In this section, for instance, in this map, how do you think Camilo, knowing what you know about Israel, India, and Africa, how do you think Italy is going to unite by 1871? Shiloh?
Wait, can you say that question again?
Yeah, I'll repeat my question. So what do you think Camilo is going to do, or how do you think he is going to unite Italy?
Let's see. By making everyone believe the beliefs as one of the countries, like everyone's equal.
There you go. What is the key term to define? Nora? Nationalism. Now, at the top of your heads, remember, this is an enduring issue essay, so you should already be thinking about, Christine's like, I knew that, why didn't I say that? You should already be thinking about the enduring issues that you can connect across these documents. So, let's read this source. It says, we ardently wish to free Italy from foreign rule. We agree that we must put aside all petty differences in order to gain this most important goal. So Levin, based on what we've read this far, what is Camilo's goal for Italy? There you go. Where have we seen this before? Christine? You've seen it in India. Where else have we seen all the people, traditionalists, living in the country, wanting to get rid of foreign rule? Nora? We saw it in China. Where else? No more. Tiana. We also saw it in Japan. So he says, we wish to drive out the foreigners, not only because we want to see our country powerful and glorious, but also because we want to elevate the Italian people in intelligence and moral development. KJ? Can you repeat that?
Would Germany also be a country of Iceland?
Would Germany be also considered a foreigner? Is that what your question?
No, like how in Germany they pushed out the Jews.
Yes. So in a way, you can consider it the same, but what the Nazi regime and Adolf Hitler did is not the same example of nationalism that we're seeing here. He persecuted and killed, right? The results of the genocide, he killed a specific religious group of people. Camilo is not inspiring people to kill foreigners, but rather to force them out of the country. Okay? So with the next 2 minutes, you're now going to create your own critical idea that is